Hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today I'm going to make some houses, but in a fun way and a bit out of proportion probably. I've been making a lot of houses lately. The swap that I've been doing in the treasured page is all about home comforts. So we've been doing houses. Now I've got an A4 piece of paper and I'm basically just going to fold it into three. Doesn't have to be exact. And these are going to be, oops, that's not very straight, is it? You see, it didn't have to be exact, but it did really need to be straight. These are going to be tags, journal cards, whatever, that kind of thing. So, having folded my paper very roughly into three, no measurements whatsoever, I'm now going to divide it up into the three different pieces. So I'll take my ruler and my scalpel, find that point that I folded it. Now there's nothing new here. People have been making house tags and journal cards all over YouTube. It's just something that I was in the mood for. Okay, so there you go, there's our three pieces. Excuse me. Now I do have this window die and I've already cut out three different windows. So as you can see, you know, that's a giant window for a house, and this is what I'm saying about them being a bit quirky. I've also got these images. Now I believe these come from Louise Heinzel. I may be wrong, and you can see they're going to sit basically in my windows. So the idea is to get, you know, people at the window of our houses. But before we can do that, we need to think about how we're going to build the houses. So let's go one at a time. So I've got all these different papers that are just, you know, in my stash. Now I absolutely love this one. Now this is the cover of a scrapbook pad, and I think I'm going to go to about there, and then I'm going to call that the roof. So you can obviously do whatever shape houses you fancy. So you could do, you know, rectangular pieces that are for a block of flats, as it were, or you can do traditional triangle point in the middle, offset, whatever it is that you fancy. So how are you? What have you been up to? You all happy, safe and well? Now I've moved that along and cut that a bit wide deliberately so that I can trim it up when I'm finished. So that's going to go onto my base as the bottom of my house, and then I think I'm going to use this vintage book page to create a front door. So I'm going to come up there, and I think I'll take that whole paragraph and use that as my front door, you see. And then, because I've got that vintage paper, I'm going to use that as my window. And my window is going to creep in to the attic of the roof. I'm sure you've seen houses like that. So what do I fancy for my roof? This is quite nice, isn't it? With these numbers. So let's trim this. I did tell you it's going to be really whimsical and out of kilter, because, well, that's the mood I'm in. Right, so we're going to start by getting these stuck down. So I'm going to bring up my messy mat and get this over to the side here. Get all my little components on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue stick this part of the house on. Get it right down in that corner, like so. And then gonna pop my roof on across there. I think it went to there. So, how are you? What have you all been up to? And also, of course, you could do things like this in fabric. So I'm just going to trim this piece off at the moment. There we go. Now my window is going to sit into my roof. You often see old houses like that. And my front door is going to come. I'm going to turn that the other way so that that blank area maybe looks like, you know, the bottom of the door before you get any glass or anything. And we're going to pop that there. That's that one. Right, and before I put my window on, obviously I need to choose which of my people are going to go in here. I do like this couple here, the elderly couple. So let's have a look. Now, this window frame is slightly too tall for these people. So we're going to have to think about what we're going to do there. So I think, could we maybe turn that number round the wrong way in front of the picture? Yes, like that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll glue that. We'll put that across there. We're then gonna trim that away like that. Hope I put it up high enough. And trim it away. And then they, hopefully, yeah, they're going to sit on top of that. So if I take my liquid glue now and glue all of the frame, get my couple in place. Like that. So although I am doing, oh, I shouldn't have glued all that together first, should I? That was a bit silly. Never mind. Then that one. Okay. And then that is going to sit just on top of my door and into my roof like that. So we'll re-glue this because obviously I'll put all the glue basically on my mat now rather than on this. Silly woman that I am. So basically just skimming the top of that door. Am I even on camera? Yes, I am. But I'm very much over to one side, aren't I? Okay, and then of course you can do all sorts of things. You can have some flowers growing up your house or all sorts. And then I'm just going to trim that across there like that. Oh, didn't trim that very well, did you, Claire? Use the scissors. There we go. Trim down here. And now that you can see, this is basically just sort of one side of the house because it's missing that angle over here and the other windows. So let's have a look in my little die cuts tub and see if I've got some pre-cut flowers. That would be handy, wouldn't it? That's holly. We don't really want holly. They're giant leaves. Hearts. Surely there's got to be some flowers in here somewhere. Surely, surely, surely. Apparently not. Oh, well, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? What's in this one? Aha! Here we go. We've got some Tim Holtz flowers in here. Like berries. So we could look at that. We can brush that with a bit of greenery. Well, we've got this one here. Is that one better? Like a bush? Oh, that one's better, isn't it? So let's brush that with a little bit of green ink. There we go. Move it over a bit. Oh, helps you put the brush on the right side, Claire. There we go. A little bit of green ink on there. I don't know what I've done with the lid. There it is. So we'll pop a bit of glue on here. You can see this was obviously some Goldie scrapbook paper that I've done my best to use up, because I was never obviously going to use it the way it was. There we go, we've got a house. Now somewhere under this pile here are the little squares that I cut out, you know, from the windows, and we could use that as a window in the door. Oh, actually, if we do it that way, it'll look like a curtain. There you go. Pop that in there, like that. The window in our door. I just think that's really kind of cute, don't you? So here's a fun one. So let's do, well, I'm going to do another one. So this one you can see is quite a bit thinner. So what should we do with this one? I think we could use this on this one. This is old ledger paper. So we can look, July 1926. That's awesome. I'm going to pop that on there. Go. Now, front door on this one. To try and keep them as a bit of a set, I think I'm going to use this for my front door. So that's a big old front door, isn't it? Maybe it's not very straight there. Should we do it the other way around this time? Don't really want to cover up that writing though, do I? So no, I think I'm going to go that way again. So I'm going to glue that piece on. That's going to go on there. And for our roof this time, let's have a little rummage in our... Oh, what about an envelope? Could use dictionary page, that would be good. So, where's my ruler? If we tear across there, that should be enough, but let's wonky it and put it on upside down, because we can. Okay, and also that means that the white border will be hanging off. We can trim that. Okay, so what window this time? Should we use the blue one or the white one? We could use the white one. First of all, I feel like I need to trim this off so that I know how wide it is. I don't want to be putting my window on it's hanging off, do I? Although actually, now there is a thought, bearing in mind that we're not doing full houses, what if this time Oh look, no, let's use the white one. What if we hung it off like that? That would be good, wouldn't it? So what picture do we want in here? Now I have got one more couple, so we couldn't do all couples. What about this lady really having hysterics? That's good, isn't it? She's like having a right old giggle, which is what we're doing in the way that we are creating these houses. So, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right to the bottom, and then we'll put what could be like, what were they called, those like pelmets that were over the curtains, and we'll do that. Let's have a look, what have I got in here that might be a nice paper for that. Oh, maybe not. A bit of this one. So we put a little tiny piece. We don't want much, do we? So that's going to be our pelmet. So where's my scissors gone? We'll trim it there, and that's going to hang about there. And then we'll trim it there. Hopefully I've done that wide enough. Yes, in fact a bit too wide, so trim a little bit more off. Okay, so put glue on the top there and stick that to my window like that. Still too wide, need to move it over a bit. There we go. That's the rubbish man coming down the road. Do apologise. And then if we take our liquid glue, whoops, yes, and do our crossbar on the edge of the pelmet, and then we can stick that onto our. Now bear in mind it's going to hang off the page. We want it there, like that. Okay, because I'm going to trim all of that side down. That is going to be our window. That is going to go there. I want to keep the cross bit, so there we go. And then if we put that across there, that's our window. We're now going to chop that away. We're going to chop this away. Okay, now we need to decide what angle roof we want. Well, we went like that on that one, so maybe this one should come all the way across. Because where we cut half the window off, obviously it goes bigger. There you go. So then I've got two houses. Do we need another window on here? Yes, but we think this time I'm going to do it in the brown window frame. Do I want to put a flower on this one? Do you know what? I think because she's laughing so much, I want to go really wacky on this one and look in my die cut box and see if by any chance I've got a bird. And I did have lots of birds cut. I could put, it doesn't really look like a leaf if you take the corner off. I did have birds in here. I'm sorry if Boo starts barking because we've got a rubbish man outside the window. Although to be honest, she doesn't seem very bothered today. There we go, we could put a leaf there, but I can't find a bird. Now I know that I've got a bird stamp here, so maybe we'll just stamp a bird on top. Shall we do that? So we'll put some glue on our leaf. We'll get our leaf across there. We'll trim off the extras. Oops. Stick, Mr. Leaf. And trim the back off. The bottom, not the back. Right, like so. And then if I choose a bird, he could be sitting on that leaf. That bird's almost as big as my front door, but let's not worry about it, eh? And that's what she's laughing at, that giant bird sitting on that giant leaf just by her front door. What do you think? Does that make sense? So then we can put him on there. Yeah, I like it. I'm having so much fun. I'm going to do a third one because I can. So here's my third one. So we've got the door and the window on the same side on both of them, so maybe we should switch it up now and get the window over here and the door over here. And I do like this, so I think this house is gonna have this on it. So we'll glue up this bit like so, and we're gonna offer that up like so, like that. Whoops, turn it over, give it a good little rub. Okay, and then we're going to have a really narrow roof on this one. So we've got words, words, numbers, numbers, flower, flower. What shall we use for our front door? Oh, how about some music paper? we could have a bit of this vintage music paper. I thought that was double. So we'll take that piece like that. We'll trim off the excess. Okay. Oh, I'm wondering now, should the music be our roof? Yeah, changed my mind. I'm going to put the music on the roof, and it appears that conveniently it's just the right size that I've torn, so that's okay. So then our front door, I think I'll go back to that original, where was that original word card that I used? This one, and we'll have them going that way. That's wacky, isn't it? So a little bit wider than my ruler, like so. Let's trim this off so that we know how wide our house is supposed to be. Like so. And down this side. Right. So, fronts have got to go this side now, Claire. Don't get it wrong. Oh, actually, I think I like that. And can you see? I've cut it wonky. So, we'll glue that up. We'll line that up at the bottom. And we'll have our lovely wonky door. And then we've got this blue window that's going to sit there. Now, who do we want to put behind this window? Do we want this really cool looking girl? Or how about this teddy bear? I feel like we should go with the teddy bear. So let's see, where's my window frame? Here. So needs to go there like that, doesn't it? So this time we'll make out like it's a nursery, and we'll put some words across the bottom. So we'll put our words that are upside down. That's not good, is it? There's our words. And there is Teddy. Love it. So there, whoops, there, like that. So I'll trim this. These scissors are all sticky and horrible now, but never mind. We'll trim this under there. We'll trim this at the bottom of this. And then we'll trim this one just under there. There you go, Teddy. And Teddy is going to go, oh, let's really go for it, shall we? Now, where I've got glue all over my mat, let's pick that up with a palette knife. Spread that. Obviously, if you're not as messy as me, you don't need to do that. Right, now let's get him. We've got a wonky front door, so let's now have a wonky window, just because it's fun. And then on the back here, I'm going to work out there. I'm going to do a little line. Okay, and then, like the old-fashioned way of doing a tag, if you trim that off, flip it over, and pop it up there, and do that line. Oops, what a mess I've made, look. Even with a guideline, goodness me. There you go. So, that was a bit of a giggle, wasn't it? What fun we've had today. So we've created 1, 2, 3 very fun journaling cards or tags. Just, I mean, obviously I need to rub that out. There you go. How much fun is that? So as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found some fun and inspiration. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.